Right now in life, everyone has two choices. And I'm not talking about what you're going to have for breakfast today. So we can keep waiting for the perfect moment to go all in. Or we can just go all in and take massive action today. Now, many people watching this will probably never ever truly have gone all in their entire lives. And we're going to come on to what all in looks like, because they will have been waiting for the perfect time, the right moment, and that moment will never come, because that time is now, because every single day is precious. So you can decide to take massive action today towards the life you want, the body you want, the relationship you want, the business you want, the career you want, whatever it is. You can take massive action today and go 100% in. And that is the only way you will ever get 100% out. Most people don't succeed because they've never, ever truly been 100% in. And if you keep dipping your toe in, if you keep testing the water, if you keep giving 50%, every time you do, the universe is going to give you a big, huge reminder that life doesn't work that way. It doesn't reward those people. It rewards the people that go 100% in. No 50%ers, no half-assed, no dipping your toe in the water, 100% only. So you can do that today. No more procrastination. Stop waiting for the right time. Stop creating utter BS excuses in your head about when you're going to truly start and give 100%, because they are all lies. They are lies you're telling yourself to avoid the discomfort of going all in. Because when we go all in and we're committed, we have to let go of all that crap. And we're quite still attached to talking about those things and why we're only half in, due to the time of year, due to work, due to whatever reason you create in your head, which are all bullshit, because you're addicted to the comfort of only being 50% in, because it's easier than being 100% in. It doesn't require the same amount of discipline. It doesn't require the same amount of energy. It doesn't require the same amount of sacrifice. So I'll just do a bit because something's better than nothing. You will never get rewarded. You will never get rewarded unless you are 100% committed. So today, tell yourself, no more procrastination. No more half in. No more 50%. No more, I'll wait until after the holiday. I'll wait until after Valentine's. I'll wait until the dog's finished its fucking breakfast. I'll wait until this work project's out of the way. I'll wait until any reason we find. We all do it because it's an avoidance of discomfort, and it's an inbuilt fear that we're not good enough and we're not going to succeed. So whether it's stuff to do with our parents, grandparents, kids, careers, pets, the economic state, what holidays we've got coming up, and everything in between. Every single one of those things that you tell yourself is your reason for not being 100% in is a lie. And until you can take ownership and responsibility for that lie, you are going absolutely nowhere. And I don't want that for any of you. So no more 50% in. Go 100% in. Go head first in every area of life. Because when you give 100%, you will get 100%. How many people are not giving 100% in their business and then getting annoyed because they're not getting 100% back? How many people are not giving 100% in their relationships, intimate or professional or parenting, and moaning about not getting 100% back? How many people are not giving 100% to their nutrition, their mindset, their meditation, their daily routine, their morning routine, their evening routine, and then complaining that they're tired and frustrated all the time? You only get what you give. So go all in without fear. Start the transformation. You've got a great incentive to be starting that today. Start the business. You're a long time dead. Start the relationship. Start meditating. Start tracking food better. Start training harder. Start being more consistent. Just start and you will get rewarded. Because if you want massive change in your life, you have to take massive action. You're not going to get massive change with 50%. In fact, this is the thing that I came onto at the end of this training. You don't give 50% and get 50%. You give 50% and you get nothing. You give 100% and you get 100%. And that comes from commitment. So stop sitting around and waiting for things to change, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to give you permission. That's a big one. Waiting until you're in enough pain that you have no option to change. That's a big one, right? And I mean this as harshly as it sounds. Make time for your health and fitness now, or sometime in the future you'll be forced to. Make time for your mental health now, or sometime in the future you'll be forced to. Make time for your business or career now, or at some time in the future you'll be forced to. Make time for your relationships and loved ones now, or at some time in the future you'll be forced to. Don't wait until you're forced to take action to take action. Take action now. Because you might be waiting for things to change to take action. They never will. That time to take action is right now, in whatever area you're not 100%. And that all starts with you. So ask yourself those questions today. What have I been putting off because I'm afraid? What have I been putting off because I doubt myself? What have I only been given 50% to? Because if I give more, it means I have to let go of my old identity and go through a little bit more pain. Where have you only been given 50%? Only you guys know these answers. Where have you not been truly committed? Have you truly committed to tracking your food every day? Working on your mindset, morning routine, evening routine, hydration, supplementation, planning, strategy, delegation, new business development, showing up on your social medias, doing the work. What have you either been putting off because you're afraid and you don't want to do the work, or where have you only been 50%? Because I'm not here to allow any of you to be average. I don't want any of you to have a mediocre life. I don't want any of you to die earlier than you should do. I don't want any of you to die with regrets. I want every single one of you to maximize every day and go all in. Commit 100%, because when you do, the universe will give you 100%. When you don't, it will keep reminding you that life doesn't work that way. So this starts with taking ownership. This starts taking responsibility. I could write an A4 side at the minute on where I've been showing up at 50% or less. So don't think I'm coming at this from a preachy angle of I'm God and I'm 100% all the time. I'm not. Okay? But you have to have those uncomfortable conversations with yourself. You have to own it. If you've been a lazy fat fuck with food and you've not been tracking it and you've been eating shit at the weekend and you've been making excuses and you've been hiding in your bedroom like a 12-year-old child, just own it. I've done that. If you slip back into negative habits, own it. If you've stopped working on your mindset, own it. It's not about beating yourself up. It's about looking at where the gaps are, looking at where we can improve. Most of us won't even know that we're operating at 50% in some areas because we're not aware of it. Some of us will be avoiding becoming aware of it because what's the cost of awareness? The cost of awareness is ownership and responsibility. And if you've suddenly become aware and then you take ownership and responsibility, the truth is you then have to adapt your behavior in line with your new insight and bring that 50% or 100%. up to 100%. Or, as I said, you can keep hiding in your bedroom and talking about why it's different for you. Talking about when you're going to change, whose fault it is that you're not changing. Why you're still committed to sitting at 50% than you are at 100%. We all know why that is. One's hard. One requires discipline. One requires sacrifice. One requires getting up earlier. One requires doing the work when you don't feel like it. One requires being knocked down with challenge time and time again and going through it. One requires the square root of FA. So we had to choose which one. One's easy. It leads to more discomfort. One's hard. And it leads to living the life that you truly deserve. So let's dive into this training. Because you have to understand that first, though. You have to be aware of where you've not been showing up. Whether it's with yourself or other people, the quality of your life will come down to your honesty and integrity and the amount of difficult conversations you're willing to have with yourself or with others. Keep avoiding them, get more pain. Avoid going to the gym, get more pain. Avoid cleaning your toxic habits up, get more pain. Avoid difficult conversations, get more pain. Anything you avoid, the universe will give you more of. The pain angle of it. Anything you take ownership of and commit to 100%, it will give you back 100% of your effort. Which one sounds like a better plan? So we have to start by doing this today because so many people will have lost sight of it. Define your goal and commit to your goal. If I honestly said to every single person, right, now stop what you're doing. Mic's on. Tell me, in explicit words, with detail, that are so simple that a 12-year-old could understand them, not the one who's hiding in his bedroom. What do your goals look like for 2025? What are you committed to? Read me out the first page of the Clarity and Momentum Planner that I sent everyone at the beginning of the year. What does the first section look like? Most people have now forgotten because they've got distracted. So if we haven't clearly defined what the goal is, it's impossible to be 100% all in because we don't know what we're 100% all in for. This is why planning is so key. You can't be disciplined this week if you don't have a plan to be disciplined to. So if you've not got a nutrition plan, you've not got a training plan, you've not got a mindset plan, you've not got a morning plan, you've not got an evening plan, you've not got a fun plan, you've not got a family plan, how can you ever be disciplined? You don't have anything to be disciplined to. So we need to define the goal, create the goal, make it crystal clear, visualize it daily, and then commit to it daily. Because otherwise a goal is just a dream. That villa is not a goal unless I commit to doing the work daily in order for it to be mine. It's just a dream. Whether it's the body, whether it's the business, whether it's the relationship or anything in between. If you don't commit to the goal once you've clearly defined it, then it will just be a dream. Because commitment and action is the foundation of everything you will achieve. Visualization's important, meditation's important, goal creation's important, vision boards are important. I believe in all of those. But essentially, if you don't do the work, if you're not committed, they will never become a reality. They will just stay a dream. I've told you guys on many trainings, my granddad said to me from as long as I can remember listening to him, boy, you can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it and do the work. He didn't leave that last bit off the end. Boy, you can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it. No. If you see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. No. Important first phase. Law of attraction. Important first phase. Like thoughts attract like thoughts. But if thoughts don't turn into beliefs, and beliefs don't turn into behaviors, and behaviors don't turn into actions, then outcomes will never even exist. So you have to understand that commitment, goal setting, and action is the foundation of everything that you achieve. But you cannot be 50% on any of those. Give 50%, get nothing. Give 75%, get nothing. You will be a perfect reflection of the work or hard work you don't do after you've created what you want. Give 100%, get 100%, 100% of the time. The universe does not reward self-doubt. It does not reward 50%ers. It does not reward procrastination. It does not reward dipping your toe in. It does not reward half fucking arsed. It rewards all in. All in, all out. So when you commit to your goal, when you declare it to the universe, that no matter what happens, you're 100% in, and that you will not quit, it will give you what you want if you do the work. It won't give you what you want if you're not 100% in. That villa will never become a reality at 50, 60, 70, 80, or even 90%. It will become a reality at 100%. When I declare it daily, when I visualize it daily, on such a level that I'm constantly inspired to do the work to make it a reality. With the added impetus of now my little boy asks me at least 5 times a week, when are we going to move there and get a boat? Because that's the only way we'll be able to get there. So, go all in. Stop holding back. You are a long time dead. Do you want to die fat? Do you want to die miserable? Do you want to die skint? Do you want to die lonely? Do you want to die knowing that you only ever gave 50%? Or do you want to be able to lie there on your deathbed saying that was a journey, that was a movie, that was a blockbuster. I committed, I was disciplined, I sacrificed, I went after what I wanted, I gave 100%. Because let me take you back to this time, right? How many times have you created a goal only to back off and quit within days, weeks, months? You get excited. We're in that zone of what we call uninformed optimism. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get the dream body. I'm going to make the money. I'm going to start the business. I'm going to attract the dream partner. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to start working on my mindset. I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to compete. I'm going to do all of these things that I've truly wanted to do probably from as long as I can remember being alive. And then within weeks, you've backed off and quit. Usually when it got tough, usually when you had to say no to the wine, when you had to say no to the meal out, when you had to pick the chicken salad over the bruschetta, the pizza, and the chocolate brownie with ice cream to finish, when you had to say yes to getting up and no to pressing snooze, when you had to spend Saturday night working on your business, not saying yes to the first friend that texted you to go to the beer garden. Essentially, when you realized it was going to be tough, when you realized you had to develop the one word that will change your fucking life forever. No. If you don't get really good at saying no to yourself and to others, you will be a less than 50% yes person your whole life. Because when you're all in, when you're committed, you're focused on your goal, not the fucking 1700 calorie Sunday dinner. No, I'm not doing that today. I'll happily come with you, but I'm going to have a chicken Caesar salad. Guess what? Why? Because I'm committed to my goal. Yeah, I'm happy to come to your wedding, but I'm not going to drink. Why? Because I'm committed to my goal. Do you want to go out tonight? No, I've got to get up early. I've got a 10K run scheduled at 7 a.m. Why? Because I'm committed to the goal. Do you want to come to this festival next week? It's only 800 quid. No, I need to invest that into my business because I'm committed to my goal. Don't spend your whole life giving your time, your money, your energy, and everything to the wrong places because you didn't have the balls or ovaries, since I'm staring at about 8 women, to say no. When you're committed, you say no. If it doesn't align with my goals, I say no. Why? Because I'm committed. So this also happens. We create the goal, then we back off within weeks, sometimes days, and we quit. 2 reasons. One, either it gets tough and we start to avoid pain and take the easy road, because as humans, we're hardwired for comfort. It's not your fault. That's why you have to learn to say no and override it. Or very often because the results didn't come quick enough. Oh my God, I went to the gym for like 2 weeks and tracked my food every day and said no to booze, and I'm absolutely devastated that I don't look like a fitness model. Oh my God, I showed up on my social media. I did stories every day last week. Every day I did a story. And I did 3 posts and I sent an email and I haven't made £7 million. Fuck that. Email marketing doesn't work. Facebook's full of negativity, and we go back to the whole thing. I'm making a little bit of fun of this as I do, but that's why it happens. 1, it got tough. 2, you had to learn the words no. 3, you didn't get all the success in the world after committing for 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 weeks. There's one of my adverts that's running at the moment, right? It's the picture when there's the scar when I broke my neck. There's a picture of me walking out of the lake at Buttermere, and there's a kind of picture in the middle, and it's about the transformation. Bear in mind, the neck picture was in 2012. Hundreds of pathetic little men on it commenting, steroids, steroids, steroids. Is that TRT or just something else? Steroids, 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 steroids. There's probably about 1,000 comments to say that. How did you get like that? What did you take to get like that? I'm like 12 fucking years of relentless commitment, 12 years of tracking food, 12 years of lifting weights, 12 years of challenges, 12 years of injuries, 12 years of running most days. Didn't happen in 12 weeks. But again, you can see how their brains are hardwired. How did he get that? How did he get there quickly? What did he use? Couldn't possibly have been hard work and commitment for 12 solid years. And trained on and off for 12 years before. There must be an easy route. So this is again what's happening, why I'm using that as an analogy. How do I get there quickly? And when we don't, we quit. How do I get there without any pain? And then we don't, we quit. Right, we only quit when it gets tough or it doesn't happen quick enough. Because then what happens is we let self-doubt creep in. We get distracted. We start saying yes to everything. Do you want to come to this wedding? Yes. Do you want to come for afternoon tea on Saturday? Yes. Do you want to come to Creamfields? Yes. Do you want to come on this girls' weekend? Yes. Do you want to come on this stag do? Yes. All of a sudden it's like, fucking hell, I've got 45 socials in 52 weeks. Because I said yes to everything. Same theory as tracking food, because it was easier than saying no. But the reason why we said yes was because we hadn't clearly outlined the goal and we weren't committed to it. And then when the question came up, we didn't ask the question, is what I'm about to say yes to aligning with who I say I want to be in the life I want? If that question's no, and I'm not saying you need to live like a fucking nun, but if the answer is no and it doesn't align, why are you doing it? Unless you want the life that you've got versus the life that you say you want. Because when we let doubt creep in, when we start saying yes to everything, when we get distracted, when we lose focus, when we look for the next new shiny object, what can I inject that's going to give me a body like Lee's in 12 weeks that took 12 years? That's hesitation. That's looking for the easy road. That's seeking the path of least resistance. That's how can I do it without pain? How can I do it without challenge? How can I do it without saying no? That's hesitation. That's half-assed. But then we convince our heads that we're doing the work 100% of the time, when deep down, if we had that uncomfortable conversation with ourselves, we know we're lying to ourselves. We're telling ourselves a lie to make ourselves feel better. And again, don't beat yourself up, right? Like, I had a conversation with myself this weekend. My business is not where I want it to be right now. It's not operating at the level that it needs to be, and it's certainly not operating at the level that's going to get me that villa. And I had the conversation where I'd almost written this out because I'd gone into a whiny little fucking pathetic victim mindset. I've given absolutely everything for 90 days. Lie. That was the story I was telling myself. Why are all the other coaches better than me? Why haven't I got more clients? Why haven't I made more money? Why isn't that ad functioning? I've given it everything for 90 days. Absolute bullshit. But that's what I was telling myself to make myself feel better. I've operated at 65% at best this year. At absolute best. I'm probably being a little bit kind to myself there. But what's that? Ownership and responsibility. Now I can adapt my behaviours in line with my new insights. Where's the 45%? Where are the gaps? Stopping watching TV from 10 until midnight most nights might be fucking one of them. That's 14 hours a week I'm wasting when I either could be working or sleeping, so I'm more refreshed the next day. They're there. You just need to find why. But what makes you feel excited to go to the next level, whether it's body, business, relationship or mindset, is committing to 100%. Stop playing safe unless you want a safe, boring life. Stop giving 50% unless you want 50% results. If you're not getting what you want, give more. That's the conversation I had with myself, because you get what you give. Life is a contribution-based experience. Whatever you put in, you get out. So we can't keep half committing and putting in 50% and expecting 100% out. We certainly can't put 50% in for 12 weeks and expect 100% out. We can't complain about the results we didn't get with the commitment we didn't give, the results we didn't get with the work we didn't do. Because every day it's about our actions, it's about our decisions. It's about our discipline, and it's about this one phrase which I want every single one of you to tattoo on the backs of your eyelids now. And if you want a world-class life, accept it and implement it. It's about your willingness to sacrifice and say no. Say no to food. Most people don't hate their bodies. They hate that their bodies are a reflection of their very poor decisions. Their inability to say no to short-term gratification in place of long-term happiness. Same with booze, the same with drugs, the same with people who cheat, the same with gambling, same with pornography. There's some really, really, really interesting work on pornography and how it's affecting men these days. Destroying relationships, destroying dating, destroying men and everything, because again, rather than the effort of finding a woman, dating a woman, romancing a woman, nurturing a woman, loving a woman, making a woman feel safe, being in your masculine so she can be in her feminine, no, I can just wank myself off over some pixels for 2 minutes. That's the reality of where most men are at these days. Struggling to get a woman. Anyway, we won't go down that rabbit hole. But again, when men are doing that, again, they're just giving pointless energy away. What is it? Pixels to a tissue. That's not energy. That's not positivity. That's not directing. That's, I can't really be bothered with any of that, so I can just do this in 2 minutes to get a quick hit. Same with food. Same with gambling, same with infidelity, same with all of these things. Not willingness to sacrifice, to be disciplined, to be better, to say no. Because a commitment demands your full energy, demands your full focus. And anything less doesn't work. And what I want you to know, whether it is a relationship, and again, these are just examples that pop up. You can't be 100% committed to a relationship if you're doing that. You can't be 100% committed to your business if you're not showing up 3 days a week. You can't be 100% committed to your body goals if you're not tracking food and exercising. But yet you find time for every single social occasion and then don't say no to the food that's holding you back. That's not commitment. That's not even half-assed. That's avoidance. So when you're 100% committed to your goal, write this down. What am I going to commit to 100% for the next 90 days? Am I committed to the beer garden and the gratification of meals out, or am I committed to the body that I want? Am I committed to showing up daily in my business to build the future that I want? Or am I committed to getting procrastinating all week and catching up with people? That's my biggest thing that I have to say no to at the minute, by the way. And a lot of my friends think I'm an arsehole right now, but I'm happy to take that on the chin. I don't have 8 hours a week to fucking catch up. Not 8 hours that I could be giving to my son, to my business, to my future, to you guys, to my clients. Because again, when you're committed to the goal, you block out distraction. You show up differently. You show up with 100%. You act with confidence. You act with commitment. You act with faith. You act with decisiveness. But it all comes from having 100% commitment to your goal and saying no to things that don't align with it. If you cannot say no, if you can't 100% commit, you'll never succeed. 2, if you can't say no to things that don't align with the goal, you'll never succeed. And 3, you have to have a willingness to sacrifice. Nail those and you'll live the life you've already wanted. And when you're living the life you already wanted and you're operating energetically on such a high level, you attract other people on that high level because they don't want to be around half-assed people either. I think anyone in my mentorship is half-assed. I'm probably the lowest at the minute. But again, 100%ers attract 100%ers. 50%ers attract 50%ers or best. So it all comes from you. It all comes from your commitment, your discipline, your sacrifice. And when you commit 100%, that's what I said, that's when we show up with confidence. Have the confidence to say no. Have the confidence to put your own goals before being worried about what other people think. Because if you don't have your goal that you're committed to, if you don't have your schedule that leads you towards that goal, if you don't have a plan for your day, other people will fill your time for you. Don't allow that to happen. And the only way you don't allow that to happen is by being so committed and so focused to your own goal that you just start to say no without even thinking about it. One of my friends messages me now, says, can I ring you for a catch-up at 3 o'clock this afternoon? I'm not even going to fucking reply because they're stupid for sending the message because they know what the answer's going to be. What they really mean is, can I ring you and moan about my wife for half an hour? You have to protect your energy. And when you protect your energy, you do that from being committed to your goal. Again, I'm not saying sack all your friends off. Of course, I still make time for some of my friends. But, it has to be on your times and on your terms. Not just yes, yes, yes. Because before you know it, the whole day's gone and you've been catching up. The whole month's gone and you haven't moved forward because you said yes to the social thing every fucking weekend. But when you truly commit, this is when your life will change, guys. Because as I said, you'll act with confidence. You'll walk with confidence. You'll speak with confidence because you're committed. I'm speaking with confidence now because I'm committed. I'm speaking with faith. I'm speaking with decisiveness. And you'll never get it right every day, but as I said, being 100% committed is the absolute key. Not 50%, not 75%, not even 95%, 100%. And that means saying no to everything that doesn't align. Because when you do show up like that, when you are that committed, you will never quit. You won't give up after 12 weeks because you didn't get 12 years worth of results. You won't give up after 4 weeks because you haven't lost 3 stone. You'll never quit when you're 100% committed. Write that down. I will never quit when I'm 100% committed. Or when I'm 100% committed, I will never quit. Because when you're 100% committed, you know there's no going back. Best example, the mentorship that I'm in this year. I could have paid a percentage for 3 months, then had a get out clause, then paid monthly on a month by month basis. What's that? Is that 100%? Instead I went, Phil, how could I possibly pay you for 12 months no matter what it takes? 100% committed. There's no way out. There's no way back. And you know, hand on fucking heart, right? Hand on Logan's life. This is the best example ever. I would have 100% left that mentorship at the end of March had I not done that. Because I didn't feel like I got out what I deserved. And my journaling this weekend told me that I didn't get out what I deserved because I didn't give 100%. Even though I told myself I did to make me feel better about the level of commitment that I hadn't quite given. I've showed up hard, but trust me, I can show up harder, and so can you. So when you commit 100%, you're saying, I'm going to give everything to achieve my goal, no matter what happens, no matter what it takes. But you have to know what that goal is first, because commitment is what keeps you going when it gets tough. When everyone and everything is telling you to quit, to pull you away, to stop the pain. But the pain of failure will hurt you a lifetime. The pain of regret you will take to your grave. I always remember that quote, like Tim Grosvenor's quote that, you know, regret is generational. If there's anything we don't want to die with, it's regret, isn't it? That will hurt far more than the pain of saying no. So start to move now when you normally stop. Pick yourself up today and commit 100%, because commitment also creates urgency. What are you committed to in the next 90 days? You've all got a very big fucking carrot dangling right now with the Body Transformation Challenge. You can say, I'm committed 100% to trying to be the person that nets that £1,000. And if you give 100%, you're going to get 100%. You can do the same in any others of life. Start giving 100% to your relationships, 100% to your business, 100% committed, and just watch it flow back to you effortlessly, but don't expect it. And again, try to get your head in that place now. What does 100% commitment look like? Where are the gaps? Because you have to ask this question. Do you want those results, or do you want to go to your grave wondering how different life could have been if you just committed and went all in? I certainly don't want to be left wondering that. I can't think of anything worse. And that's how we realign our thoughts today. And that's what I want you to do. Ask yourself that question. Do I at any point want to be left wondering, oh my God, what could have happened? How could life have been if I just have dropped the story, not got distracted, and gone 100% all in? But I'll never know that now because I never did. And I'm 75 and I'm just lit here thinking, that's why most old people are fucking miserable. Because they're living a life of regrets. They're living a life of wondering what could have been if they'd just have gone all in. They'd just have learned to say no. If they'd just have understood the power of sacrifice. Because the reality is we can't say we want success and change without the commitment. It literally cannot happen. You cannot find the success and the change you want without 100% commitment. You will not get the life that you want without 100% commitment. You cannot have the results without the work. And you cannot have the success without the sacrifice. That is the number one reason why people fail. They want the success without the sacrifice. Because when you're not 100% committed, you'll constantly find excuses. You'll constantly find ways to quit. So let's really all switch on today and commit hard. Stop negotiating. Stop questioning. Stop 50% in. Stop half-arsing and just commit. Because when you commit 100%, that's when doubt disappears. When you commit 100%, you'll find a way no matter what. I will find a way for that villa to be mine no matter what. And one day we'll be looking on this video that was recorded on the 7th of April, 2025 on YouTube. So fucking hell, he said that on that day. Because that's 100% commitment. Now, I also can't control that outcome. But what I can control is the work that's needed. And when you do 100%, you just don't quit. You keep going when you face challenge. But if you're not 100% committed, every time you face challenge, you'll go back to the old you because it feels safe, because it feels comfortable. When you're 100% committed, you don't say, why me? You say, try me. You say, give me some fucking challenge. Give me some more challenge because that's how I grow. Give me some more hardship because that's what builds my strength and character my most. I'm grateful for every single thing that's happened in my life because it's made me how strong I am. Not, oh, why did that happen to me? Or not poor old me. Or not, oh, feel sorry for me. Or pity pie. Or I am the way I am because of X. Every single thing makes you stronger if you're willing to accept the lesson and the gift. So keep going. But when you're 100% committed, you'll keep going when you hit challenge. If you're 50% committed, you'll fucking quit every time you hit challenge. Because when you're 100% committed, stopping isn't an option. Quitting isn't an option. Giving up isn't an option. But we have to understand as well, it's not about how you feel in the moment. Of course you feel like quitting. I feel like quitting probably once a day. But my actions align with my commitment, not how I'm feeling. My plan dictates my action, not my feeling. My commitment and my goals and my vision of the compelling vision of my future dictate my actions, not my feelings. Fuck me. If I behave based on how I was feeling all the time, I have no idea what my life would look like, but it wouldn't be very good. So do the work no matter how you're feeling. In fact, focus on doing the work when you're feeling like not feeling like doing it. Treat that as like a strengthening hack. God, I really don't feel like doing this. Right, if I do it now, how strong am I going to be? Then, how easy is it going to be when I do feel like doing it? If I've conditioned myself to doing it when I don't feel like it? Why do you think, I mean, I'm regretting it now with the injury, but why do you think I do stupid shit like running 200 miles? Makes everything else seem fucking easy. Be willing to push through hardship to make things that were once hard feel easy. Because if you're not waking up every day at the minute with a clear goal, with a fire burning inside you of what you want to achieve with your body, mind, or business, you're not bouncing out of bed with excitement to run towards an inspired vision of your future that you created. Remember, we can be pulled by inspiration or we can be pushed by desperation. If you don't have an inspired goal, you can't be pulled by inspiration. So you'll wait until you're in enough pain that you're pushed by desperation. Not very motivating. Much better to be pulled by inspiration. But if you're not waking up like that, if you're not feeling excited about this compelling vision of your life that you've created, then check your commitment. That's the number one thing you need to do today. Check your commitment and ask yourself this question: am I really 100% in? The reality is most of us aren't even fucking close. Probably there's people that are less than 25%. The majority are probably between 25 and 75. But if we could just get to 100%, if we could be 100% committed, if we could give 100% every day, how different would life look? Because weak commitment will always get weak results. Weak effort will get weak results. Poor sacrifice, poor results. Poor discipline, poor results. As I said, 50% doesn't get you 50%. It gets you nothing. And in life, you will never, ever be rewarded for giving anything less than 100%. And every time you do, you will be rewarded with 100%. So today, go back, create the vision, create the goal, get clear on what it is. Stop being shackled by memories of the past and start being pulled by a compelling vision of your future. And commit 100%, because that is the foundation of all success. Have an awesome day.